Hello everybody, it's Tom Seidner, the Lonely Gamer, and we got back last night fairly late from Gencon. We had a wonderful time. It was really fun. Struck out on the things that I was wanting to get at Gencon. There were 3 things that I wanted to get at Gencon, and I was not able to get any of them. But that's okay, because we had a great time. This was the first time my wife's ever gone to Gencon with me, so we went together. Usually I go alone, but we went together. We had a great time. I got to show her all the crazy stuff. I think she said it was almost overwhelming. She said that it reminded her of Black Friday, so there were a lot of people there. It was very crowded, but I had a really good time, and it was really enjoyable to have somebody else with me, and I wasn't there by myself. The 3 things that I was really hoping to get at Gen Con, number 1 was the Funko Rivals special editions. They came out with these at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know why they had them at San Diego Comic-Con and they didn't just save them for Gen Con, because Gen Con is a board gaming convention, but I know there's some board gaming at San Diego Comic-Con, but they didn't, and of course I didn't get any because I didn't get there till Sunday, and by that time they were all sold out. And so, but it was one nice thing I have to say is that they had a big long line, and they did come down the line and say, hey, if you're wanting the promos, we're sold out of those, so don't bother to wait in line. And that saved me a bunch of time, because as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, well that's it. I don't need anything else because I've already got the game and all the characters that go with the game that I want. So I got out of line and didn't waste any time in that. So that was really nice. So that was number 1. The second thing that I was hoping to see was Combat Arena Lair of the Beast by Games Workshop. I wasn't really expecting to see that there because it is a Barnes & Noble exclusive. At least it's going to be. I don't know when it's coming out. They said it was going to come out by the end of July, and it hasn't come out yet. I'm keeping my eye out for that. I do have a video on that game, and so if I see any indication that it's out either through eBay or Barnes & Noble's website or anything else, I will post on that video that, you know, it is out in the wild now. But I haven't seen any indication that that game is out anywhere. And when I was at Gen Con, I went to the Games Workshop booth, and to my surprise, they had Combat Arena Champions, which is the previous version of Combat Arena. They had that for sale, and that also was a Barnes & Noble exclusive. So that kind of got me excited, hoping that I would find it there, but I did not find it there. I even asked somebody who worked there, and they had no idea anything about it. And but I think they were probably a volunteer. See, the thing at Gen Con that you have to keep in mind is a lot of those people that work at Gen Con, they're volunteers. They come and they work for the companies at Gen Con, and then they go on to their regular lives after it's over. So I didn't really expect them to know anything, but no sign of Combat Arena Lair of the Beast there or anywhere else for that matter. And the third thing I really wanted to get was I wanted to get the Witches of Dothmar expansion for Shatterpoint. But I was able to talk to somebody there that actually worked for the company, and they said that that game expansion was supposed to be at Gen Con, but it got delayed. And so it's stuck in Canada. So nobody was able to get it at Gen Con. Myself either. I kind of figure with it being so new, even if it had made it to Gen Con, I probably wouldn't have gotten a copy of it because by the time I got there on Sunday, it would have probably been sold out anyway. So instead of that, I bought the Hello There expansion at Gen Con. This is the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Cody and 212. I've already managed to get them painted. So here's my Obi-Wan. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but there's my Obi-Wan. And here's my Cody and my 212 troopers. So I've got them painted up. I'm ready to play with them. I'm very excited about trying them. This was an expansion that I wanted. It's not the one that I was hoping to get at Gen Con, but I went ahead and got this. This was the only thing that I bought at Gen Con, other than buying a donut for breakfast and some really, really, really good pork barbecue nachos for lunch. That's all I really got at Gen Con this year, so I didn't get any new games. There were a couple games that I was interested in, but 2 of the games that I was really interested in were 4-player games, and 4-player games are really hard for my game group to get to the table because we usually have 5 to 6 people who show up for board game night, and so those games never get played. So I kind of held off on those. But I had a great time. I did get to meet my YouTube hero, Tom Vassell, and I got to get a picture with him. So that was pretty awesome. He is a super nice guy. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. You know, you see these people on YouTube, and you feel like you get to know them, but they don't know you because they don't see you. But you feel like you get to know them, and you feel like, this is a really nice guy. And then sometimes you meet them, and they're not as nice as what you think they are. But Tom Vassell is a really, really nice guy. I love that guy. I hope his channel goes on forever, and he becomes the most famous board gamer in the world, because I think he deserves that for his, the way he handles himself in public. I've never seen him be mean to anybody, or not be willing to take a picture with them or talk to them or anything like that. So he's wonderful. I strive to be like him when it comes to my YouTube channel. So anyway, so I got to talk to him, and I got to get a picture with him. I saw the other Dice Tower crew. They're all great people. I was not able to meet up with David Hedge, but hope you guys watch his videos. He puts out some really great videos. And I did talk to somebody at Atomic Mass Games. Let me tell you something. Atomic Mass Games is a wonderful, wonderful company. Now, I know they're under the Asmodee umbrella, and Asmodee kind of has a little bit of a reputation of not being that good, but the people who work at Atomic Mass Games, they are wonderful. In fact, the guy that I talked to, Greg Nunes, he was absolutely great. He was friendly and nice, answered all my questions. So I just want to make a shout out to him. Greg Nunes, thank you so much for being a wonderful asset for Atomic Mass Games. I assume you work there full-time, but if you don't, if you're just a volunteer, you're a wonderful volunteer, and thank you for being so friendly with the customers and everything. There's a ton of people there. Gencon is totally crowded. People are shoving and pushing their way through, and for somebody to be that friendly on Sunday after putting up with 4 days of that, that's pretty impressive. So shout out to you for being a wonderful person, and I really appreciated meeting you. And that's pretty much it. That's my rundown from Gen Con. I spent a lot of time with my family, the Wall family in Avon. We played a lot of games. We played Extraordinary Adventures, which is a game that I highly recommend you check out. It's by Forbidden Games. I talked to those guys at Gen Con and told them how much I enjoyed that game. That is a very underrated game. It's a pirate game where you're racing ships to try to get to the end and trying to pick up treasure and along the way and kidnap other pirates. Great game. It's definitely one to play. We played Star Wars Rivals, the Funko game. Like that game. And also we played Viticulture. That is a long game. I think we were up till 1 o'clock in the morning playing that game, but Viticulture is another game that I highly recommend. Viticulture is a great game for 6 players because there aren't a lot of really good heavy Euro games that play 6 players, but that's a good one. You're making wine, you're growing grapes, you're harvesting grapes, you're making wine, you're selling it, and it's a really, really, really good Euro game for people who like that kind of game. So that's it. I just want to make this quick video. Shout out to everybody. Tell everybody I made it home safely from Gen Con. Hopefully I'll be getting some more Shatterpoint stuff out. I'm really into Shatterpoint right now, so I've got my new crew. I'm going to try to get it to where I can play without looking at the rules too much so that I can actually record me playing. I'm just afraid at the current time because I'm still learning the rules that I have to look it up, and it might take way too long for a video and way too much editing if I try to do it now. But I'll play a few more games and try to get to where I can play the game in a fairly short period of time and then record that game so you guys can see the rules and see how it's played and just kind of enjoy the game. If you're on the fence on whether or not to get it, that way you can make a educated decision on whether or not you want to buy it. So I will have a lot of videos for Shatterpoint coming out. I'm hoping to get the Lair of the Beast Combat Arena as soon as it comes out, so I'll get that to the table. And I also got another game that's actually out of print, but it's a really good game that I just got, and I might do a playthrough on it because this might be something that you might want to try to pick up before it gets too expensive. So I've got some things in the works, so if you want to see those things, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you have any questions about anything or just want to make a comment about something, put it in the comments below. I always answer the comments from my people who watch my videos, so I make sure that I'm always there to answer your questions or to at least respond to your comments. So otherwise, this will be me signing off for this report of how things went at Gen Con, and until I see you guys again, happy gaming.